to sea moss.
Oh, you put sea moss in it?
Powdered sea moss.
Got me wired up on. She drugging me. All right, let's see. All right, verse 10. All right, go ahead.
For as many as are of the works of the law.
All right, stop. So what's the works of the law now? Animal sacrifice. Go ahead.
Are under the curse. For it is written, curses everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them.
Stop. See, brother, so if you don't do them all, you curse. You can't keep that law. God knew you couldn't keep that law. So let me come on the camera. God knew you couldn't keep that law. That's why he sent Jesus, because he knew you couldn't keep the law, so he did Jesus for you. Right? That's what they use that verse for, right?
Misinterpreted.
So they did what?
Fascinate with.
Fascinate the people with misinformation. Let's break it down. For as many as are of the works of the law, meaning sacrificing animals and not living a righteous life.
That's right. Instead of repenting and turning,
are under the curse. So if you offering a sacrifice and you're not living a righteous life in obedience to Yah, you're under the curse. That's real simple, right?
Yep.
Why are you under the curse? Because the wages,
the disobedience,
right,
wages of sin
is death. There you go. See how this is working now? We just bringing it together. For as many as are under the works of the law and not obedience to the Most High are under the curse. Why? Because you disobeying Yah, and the judgment comes upon those that don't do what is written. Curses everyone that continue not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. Is that hard?
Nope.
Now wait a minute now. I do like Gina Jenny. Wait a minute.
You can keep the Sabbath?
Wait a minute. So, if you don't obey Yah, right? Let's break it down. Let's amplify. Let's bring it on the screen here. As many as are under the curse, imprecation, execration. Says Katara. Okay. So that's what? Death, right? Many are under the death. That's the law of sin and death, right? For it is written, right? Cursed, right? Imprecated, that is execrable. Other words, it's like you going to court and the judge passes sentences. You're sentenced to death by electric chair or death by the So you're sitting there waiting because you've already been cursed. Why? Because you're walking in disobedience. You're just waiting out the time for your sentence to be fulfilled, right? Okay. So when you disobey, he says, you curse is everyone that, here's how it breaks it down, that continue not. Stay in the same place. Amino. That continues not in all things is past, okay, all, okay, which are written, right? Described in the scroll, Biblion scroll, right, of the Numos, parcel, food,
Description.
right?
Description gives life
to do them. Okay, now let's add some more stuff to this, right? It's 3:00 already. Oh my goodness. Let me try to wrap it up. Okay. So what I want to do is let's go to Deuteronomy 27. And then we're going to go to Joshua 8. And then we're going to close out with Jeremiah 11. And these three verses should bring more clarity and turn that doctrine into dust. We're just going to blow it in the air and watch it disintegrate. All right. Deuteronomy 27, verses 1 through 7. Let's go there. All right. Because we talking about the curses, right? All right. Deuteronomy 27. All right. Verses 1. What did I say? 1 through what? 7. Okay, go ahead.
And Moshe with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Keep them all. Mm-hmm.
And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan unto the land which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee, that thou shalt set thee up great stones and plaster them with plaster.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt write upon them all the words of this law when thou art passed over, that thou mayest go in unto the land which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Yah thy Elohim of thy fathers have promised thee.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore it shall be when ye be gone over Jordan, that ye shall set up these stones which I command you this day in Mount Ebal, and thou shalt plaster them with plaster. And there shalt thou build an altar unto Yah thy Elohim, an altar of stone. Thou shalt not lift up any iron tool upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt build the altar of Yah thy Elohim of whole stones, and thou shalt offer burnt offerings thereon unto Yah thy Elohim. And thou shalt offer peace offerings, and shalt eat there and rejoice before Yah thy Elohim.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So, what's he talking about? Sacrifices, right? Isn't that clear? Okay, we're going to open it up some more, but now if you continue to read, he gives the curses now. All right. Let's see. Okay, go to verse 9.
And Moshe and the priests, the Levites, spake unto all Israel, saying, take heed and hearken, O Israel, this day. Thou art become the people of Yah thy Elohim. Thou shalt therefore obey the voice of Yah thy Elohim, and do his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day. And Moshe charged the people the same day, saying, these shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people when ye are come over Jordan. Simeon and Levi and Judah and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin, and these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel with a loud voice, cursed be the man that maketh any graven or molten image, an abomination unto Yah,
Mm-hmm.
the work of the hands of the craftsman,
Mm-hmm.
and putteth it in a secret place.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people shall answer and say, Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark,
Mm.
and all the people shall say, Amen.
What's the landmark? Right. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way, and all the people shall say, Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless, and widow, and all the people shall say, Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife, because he uncovereth his father's skirt, and all the people shall say, Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed be he that lieth with any manner of beast, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lieth with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother. Cursed be he that lieth with his mother-in-law. Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor secretly. Cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person. Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of the law to do them. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Okay, so that's what he's talking about. So in other words, so if we're not under that curse, that means that you can do all these things and be blessed. So is he saying that you can't do the law? He's just basically reiterating that if you don't do these things, you're going to be cursed.
And if you do these things,
you're going to be blessed.
In disobedience to the law.
And what's the curse? Death, right? Whether it be by judicial death or whether it be by natural causes.
Yeah.
Right.
Report death.
I'm glad you said that, because see, that's basically what this is saying. The wages of sin is death. So wages of sin is death. It hasn't changed. Right. Okay. So now let's go to let's see, Joshua 8:30 and through 35. Joshua renews the covenant.
Then Yeshua built an altar unto Yah, the Elohim of Israel, in Mount Ebal, and Moshe the servant of Yah commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moshe.
Now stop for a second. Of is added. So when you say of, it's not of Moses. Just thought I'd bring that out because people see of. It's the law of Moses. Of. Of is not in the Hebrew. Okay. All right, go ahead.
An altar of whole stones, over which no man have lift up any iron, and they offered thereon burnt offerings unto Yah, and sacrificed peace offerings.
There it is.
And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moshe, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all of Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side, the ark on that side, before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of Yah, as well as the stranger, and as he that was born among them, half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal. And Moshe the servant of Yah had commanded before that they should bless people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moshe commanded which Yeshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversant among them.
So Yeshua the son of Nun did what the Most High instructed Moshe to tell him to do, right? So the blessings and the cursings still exist. Blessings for obedience, cursings for disobedience. The sacrifice was offered, the altar of burnt offerings, right? So it's showing you the consistency that when he talks about the law, he's talking about the sacrifices, right? All right, now let's see. Let's go to Jeremiah 11, 1 through 7. This will be the last one. Then we'll just read Galatians out because it's nothing else to do because we didn't blew this thing up in powder. The rest of it is just basically going through the format, reading the rest of the chapter. Okay, so what I say,
11, I think you said 1.
Jeremiah 11, Yirmiyahu 11. I like saying his name, Yirmiyahu 11 and 1 through 7, was it? Okay.
The word that came to Yirmiyahu from Yah, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Yehuda, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and say thou unto them, Thus says Yah, the Elohim of Israel, Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the iron furnace, saying, Obey my voice, and do them according to all which I command you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your Elohim, that I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, So be it, O Yah.
Wait a minute. Now, see, Yirmiyahu get the gospel preached to him now. Go ahead.
So be it, it is so. Then Yah said unto me, Proclaim all these words in the cities of Yehuda.
Oh, now I want you to preach the gospel.
Therefore,
wait a minute. He had the gospel preached to him. Now the Most High say, now I want you to go preach the gospel, right? All right, come on.
In the cities of Yehuda and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant and do them. For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Mitzrayim, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, Obey my voice. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. The people that are not walking in obedience are walking in the imagination of their evil heart.
Preach it. That's it.
Their own doctrines.
Israel the same yesterday, today, but prophetic not forever. Thanks to Moray Josiah for that line. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And Yah said unto me, A conspiracy is found among the men of Yehuda and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
A conspiracy. So these preachers got a conspiracy going today.
Unlawful confederacy,
alliance,
Catholic Church,
right? Unlawful alliance, an unlawful alliance. That's what the pastors is teaching you, that they bewitching you by what was it? They bewitching by doing what?
What's that?
With misinformation.
Fascinating
you with misinformation, right?
That sounds good to you, but the truth sounds
sound good, and they breaking, and they teaching people to make an alliance
doctrines of men.
With the doctrines of men. Have mercy.
But
truth sounds like a lie. All right, go ahead.
Verse 10. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other deities to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Yehuda have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers. Therefore, thus says Yah, Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Then shall the cities of Yehuda and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go